As if bringing a baby into this world isn't tiring enough, the barrage of well-intentioned advice from family and friends, along with the marketing campaigns aimed at parents who just want to do what's best for their child, can be just plain overwhelming. I got so sick of hearing it all that I dreamed of burrowing underground and hiding out until baby left for college. Or at least putting my hands over my ears and screaming la 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 in my best impression of my kindergarten self. I went on baby buying strike. So before you go on strike, here's a list of things that we actually used in the first month after bringing baby home from the hospital. And it's not nearly as much as you would think. The first thing, and probably the most important, because you won't even be able to leave the hospital without it, is a car seat. A car seat we did opt to buy new instead of secondhand just because the specs change so often and you don't really know where someone else's car seat has been or what it's been through. But in order to keep it moderately minimal and cut down on the number of items we consume, we opted for a 3-in-1 car seat. So that way it'll grow with baby and we don't need to keep buying a new one. The second one is a bassinet. I love keeping baby close at night. It just makes things easier, especially in the first month or so. Walking back and forth to a crib just does not seem entirely doable or at all comfortable. And sleep is such a huge priority that being able to stay somewhat asleep while feeding is really nice. The next one is pretty obvious. It's diapers. We planned on cloth diapering. I did buy a few cloth diapers. I've got some that are all in one and some that are pocket, and I will have a whole nother video on cloth diapering. I'm planning it out as we speak. But even if you're planning on doing cloth diapering, I would suggest getting some disposables because in that first week they're just so much easier to fold down and keep baby's umbilical stump dry. Plus they can be helpful while you're figuring out how many to get and that kind of thing. Also, if you're planning on cloth diapering, I would recommend checking Fluff Love University for their list of cloth diaper safe creams and also laundry detergent. The next one is clothes. I love clothes, but I'm definitely not a fan of the fashion industry. There are so many things wrong with it. I can't even get into it in this video. We choose to buy our clothes secondhand. I'll leave a link to ThredUp, which is my favorite online thrift store for myself and both of my sons. We also bought some clothes at As They Grow. I know they have a few in our area, so I would look them up online. They probably have a couple in your area as well. How much clothes you want to buy ahead of time really kind of depends on your laundry situation. Baby came right at the beginning of our winter and our laundry machine is outside in the garage. Trekking through the snow or freezing cold temperatures is not the most fun. I would just take that into account when you're deciding how much you need to get. But I would also recommend getting a number of different sizes. We had an idea. This guy was going to be a little bit large, but he actually was born 9 pounds, 10 ounces. So newborn clothes really didn't last for more than a week or two. So I would definitely suggest getting a few different sizes. And if you're thrifting, it makes it easy to just filter by a few sizes and get whatever is cute. In the first month, we really relied a lot on sleepers. They're nice because they can be daytime or nighttime outfits, and there's not a whole lot of moving parts here. You put it on and you are good to go. A lot of people have pretty strong preferences over the zippers versus the snaps. I have to say, I really don't have a preference. It really didn't make a difference to me. As long as you're dealing with these kind of smaller zippers, we found that the larger zippers made baby pretty uncomfortable during tummy time. There really wasn't one that was better than the other, in my opinion. But if you're planning on starting elimination communication in the first month, I would definitely suggest getting some t-shirts or tops. The next item that we really found helpful was having something for swaddling. Yeah, a blanket like this that's nice and thin really makes swaddling easy. We got this one at As They Grow. He loved being swaddled up tight in this for the first couple of weeks. There's also this option, these Halo sleep sack swaddles. One of the best nurses I have ever met at the hospital actually introduced me to them. What it is basically is it's just like the wearable blanket. You can zip it up, and that way down here it's still loose, so baby has full range of motion with his legs. And then the top actually velcros, and you can tighten it as much as you want. So for a baby who loves to be swaddled, which he did in the first couple of days, he loved everything swaddled tight. It keeps them in. However, he started to hate his arms being swaddled, so now I just do it up underneath his arms, and that seems to really work well. I think it still kind of feels like a hug. The other option are these wearable blankets. This one was a gift, and it just zips up in the front. It's a great way to keep him warm. We also have one heavier blanket that was actually from my older son, I believe. If you're having a baby shower or something like that, chances are you're gonna get about 1 million swaddle blankets, but you really don't need that many. We have one swaddle blanket, one heavier blanket, one of these wearable blankets without sleeves, and 2 of these sleep sacks, and we find that to be plenty and completely suits our needs. The next one is this Playmat. This Playmat. I just keep hitting myself in the face with it. This Playmat by Maki Maki Organics. So we decided against buying bouncy seats, exercisers, swings, and all those kind of baby holding devices. We love our Playmat, and we're able to do tummy time, look at mobiles, mirrors, books, all that kind of thing with complete freedom of movement. However, when baby's napping, especially in the first month, I think it's Montessori that calls it the symbiotic period, where, you know, we're both kind of getting used to being separated. So we still like to be together, and this baby really likes to be held close. Well, I've gotten really good at doing lots of things with my left hand. Sometimes I still need a little bit more mobility, and that's when baby wearing comes in handy. When he wants to be held during his naps, I love to use our wrap. We even go on walks outside when it's not too cold in our wrap sometimes, because it keeps him close, so we have some body heat going on. There's lots of options. There's also slings, ring slings like this, or other slings, or other baby wearing devices, Mai Tais, all sorts of things that you can find on the market, but these are the 2 that I have. White noise machines or simply an app can really come in handy, especially if you have siblings or pets or any other noises that are pretty unavoidable. Being able to kind of drown some of that out, or just having the noise that I guess mimics the sound of the womb, really helps him to get to sleep and stay asleep. However, if you're choosing a nap like I did, you have to be prepared to not have your phone during nap time, which, yeah. Some other apps that have come in handy for us are definitely one app called Huckleberry. Any kind of feeding or sleep tracking app really works. The doctor is going to ask you about his sleeping, his eating, his poops, and that kind of thing. And I can't even remember what I did 20 minutes ago, much less what time he woke up, the 7 times that he woke up yesterday and last week and the week before. So having something to track it is a pretty neat idea. Of course, not essential. People have been having babies for centuries without apps, but I found that it was a really nice. The other 2 apps are, I mentioned ThredUp, where we have bought pretty much all of his clothes. Instacart, because who wants to be bundling a baby up and going to the grocery store when you're still trying to recover from childbirth or a C-section or just lack of sleep? A couple things that I didn't get that I kind of wish that I had that I think would be really helpful: blackout curtains, along with the noise machine. They would definitely be helpful for nap times, and some kind of pre-cooked, prepared freezer meals on demand meal delivery service, something to just help maintain eating, dinners, meals for the family, because cooking with one hand, maybe not so effective or safe. I know not everybody has chosen to breastfeed or is able to breastfeed. That's why I saved this for the end. If you are planning to breastfeed, I would say get a good nursing bra. I actually let myself get talked out of it, and I regret not getting a really nice nursing bra. I actually ended up just buying some cheap ones after baby was born because I found them an essential. I also bought some nursing pads to go in the bras, but I found that I haven't actually used them. I guess if I was spending more time away or needing someone to feed him, that would definitely be something that I would use more often, because the couple times that I did have to go out, I did find myself leaking a lot and my shirt got a little stained. A pump, check with your insurance company. I think a lot of insurances actually will cover a pump, and you can get one at the hospital from your lactation consultant. And the last thing, I actually have ended up not needing it, but I got really close, is some nipple cream. You might not need it, but if you do, it's nice to have. You have to pee-pee. Oh my gosh, this outfit is so much. So that's pretty much what I would recommend for the first month. So before you decide to go on a buying strike, I would try to get at least those things in place. Everything else kind of falls into place over time, but those are the things I would have before leaving the hospital. We are about to go potty, but thank you so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe for more content on intentional living.